this season on Sister Wives.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here. You just make sure people know what happened here today.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing?
Uh-oh, we are back once again. Season 19 just dropped tonight, but unfortunately for some of us, TLC once again dropped the bag. They're habitual bag droppers because apparently they either one, don't like money, or two, they don't respect the people who watch the show. I don't know which one it is. Maybe it's both. I don't know. You guys let me know down below. If you guys can see me, give me that one in the chat. Let me know that you guys can see me. You can hear me, that everything is cool. I'm going to go to my thing so I can see you guys popping up. Hola, hola, hola. Sunday Campbell. Yeah, I see some ones. Awesome. One's populating the screen like hot fire. I'm going to go ahead and hit a heart up in there. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Welcome to the show. Once again, we are back to talk about Sister Wives and the foolishness that we've been watching on the screen. Gotta tell you, I just finished watching the first episode. Folks, we're going to be in for a bit of a ride. I'm going to check out some of you guys. I want to go ahead. First live, Sherry from Canada. Hello, welcome, Sherry. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop the link so you guys can populate. Just so you know, here on this show, even though I am in the show, I am your host, and you guys are my guests. And I want to hear from you guys what you guys think about what you're seeing on the screen, some thoughts that you have as far as the production. We can really get into it. But just for the sake, because I don't want to create a whole lot of super spoilers for folks who haven't had the opportunity to see it, because TLC is acting like assholes, and pardon my French, and they're not allowing a lot of people to see it. Now, here's the thing. I could understand, before I drop the link or whatever, I can understand TLC's position that they want to try to make as much money as they can off of this show. I get it. I understand. After all, even though I'm a small-time YouTuber, at the end of the day, I'm a content creator. TLC, the Learning Channel, they're also content creators. Okay, I get it. You want to try to maximize your profits. You want to maximize your reach. What I don't understand, though, if I came up with, like, instead of us saying it's TLC, we'll use me as an example. I'm a YouTuber. If I came up with a program or a show that I was doing that people were interested in watching, and then when I came up with that show, I said to myself, you know what I'm going to do? A lot of people are showing interest in this show that I'm putting out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it behind a paywall. So I'm going to go to Patreon, and then you can sign up and pay to watch this particular show. Now, that would make sense if I advertised it and told people, hey, guys, I'm going to have this new program that you guys are all excited about, and I'm going to put it behind a paywall so that you have to pay to see it. That way people can make decisions and make plans on whether they plan on watching it, whether they plan on supporting it, whether they're going to show interest in it, whatever the case may be. What TLC did is they essentially said, I'm going to get you excited about this new program that I'm putting out. Then at the last minute, I'm going to put it behind a paywall. And half of the people who want to see it, not even half, let's be honest, like 80% of the people who want to see the program won't be able to see it because it's behind a paywall. I don't understand the logic. I'm completely lost. I don't get it. Like I said, if you're going to do that, advertise that that's what you're doing. Don't just drop it on people. Like, I didn't I'd heard on a video from Sarah. I think I saw one of Sarah's videos, Sarah from Reality Squad. I saw one of her videos where she had mentioned that that's what they were going to do. Then I started looking around because I assumed that it would be on Discovery or Max like it had been the whole time. The way I've been watching all the other series, right? With the exception of the Look Back and Talk Back from last season. I had assumed that that's how they were doing it. But then all of a sudden, guess what they do? Yeah, we just gonna go ahead and let you know what I didn't know for sure that they were going to shift it to private TLC or cable until tonight at 10 o'clock when I went to go watch it. That's when I found out that that's what they were doing for sure. Because I still went to Discovery Plus and I still went to Max because quiet as it's kept, I have it so I don't have any of the commercials. So I'll be able to finish earlier. And then that way I'll be able to set everything up and then I'll be able to check my stuff, make sure that I can get online, no problems. And I can get online and it's not a big deal. And we could start the show at 11 o'clock. But because I had to deal with all the commercials and I still had to come up and set everything up for the thing, I started a little bit late. So it impacted me on that front. But what the hell, dude? Like there are people hearing this live right now who haven't seen it. There are people who won't tune into the live to discuss the show because they haven't seen the show and they don't want spoilers. It's ridiculous. But that's crazy. Hey Fifi, what's going on? That is nuts to me. That whole business thing. Like I said, I understand people put stuff behind paywalls. I get it. I'm not bashing anybody for putting something behind paywalls. If people want to pay to see it, then hey, it is what it is. But you have to let your customers know. You don't get people excited about a show, and then they've been watching it this whole time on Discovery, and then all of a sudden, the day of the season drops, all of a sudden I see a commercial. Yeah, you can see it first night on TLC if you have cable, but you can see it if you have Discovery Plus, HBO Max, TLC Go. You have to wait till the next day. But if you have cable and you're paying like $400 a month or like Comcast, Verizon, Dish, whoever, whatever satellite or cable network you have in your town, and they're booking the hell out of you, then you get to watch it. So insane. Yeah, channel interrupted. I guess what is it? Well, I guess I have to watch your reviews only. I'm not paying 26. Yeah, and that's the thing. You gotta let people know because some people like, and I wonder, and here's my thing, and I'm gonna open this up in a minute. Audrey Bringinger, what's up? I want to open this up in a minute because I'm kind of curious what you guys think. But okay, Marilee Gentry said it's on HBO TLC Go. I tried my TLC Go and it didn't show up. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Yeah, I have a theory. And here it is. I gotta do my tape, dog J. Like here's what's messed up, and here's what it could be. And I don't want to be the one to say this, but it very well could be this thing, and I can't prove it either way. Just throwing this out there, I can't prove it either way, but it does occur to me that the show did experience a big bump from starting season 16 when Christine left, season 17 when Christine actually left, season 18 when Mary left or Janelle left. And each season it started growing in popularity again. Like there's been a resurgence of the sister wife fan base. And being as though there is a resurgence, you could look at it and say, one, because more people are interested in it, they may have decided that they were going to put themselves in a position where they can charge people to watch the same program that before they were getting for less money. So they can charge people more money effectively. So people were paying for Discovery Plus or HBO Max. Now they might be able to get them to squeeze a few more dollars out of folks by getting them to sign up with cable or whatever. That's one thing. But it also occurs to me that maybe TLC is actually trying to stunt their numbers, because then it takes away Cody, Robin, and the other sister wives, OG3's ability to negotiate, or should I say renegotiate, a new contract. Let me know what you guys think. Let's put that in there. I wonder what you guys think. I want to put in, before I put in the link, I'm gonna do a poll. Let's run a quick poll real quick. I'm gonna drop this down so I can see it better. All right. Let's run a poll, because I'm a little curious what you guys, if you think I might be onto something. Do you think TLC is doing delayed? I don't even know what I want to say. How do I want to say it? Do you think TLC is doing delayed airings? Is purposefully, there you go, airing their sister wives on a delayed schedule to prevent renegotiations of contracts? If you think TLC is doing this like botched, views or ability to see the show so that they can screw up the numbers, so the stars of the show, Mary, Janelle, Christine, Robin, and Cody, can't come back and renegotiate their money, because remember, they took a pay cut before, and I don't know if they renegotiated their money back up again. And I'm sure that time is coming. I'm sure they want to have those conversations. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to drop that in there now. We're gonna let that I want to see what this is. Yeah, I want to try to get this in there. Let's see. Oh, damn. I overdid the numbers. Let's see. See, intentionally. Sister wives. Okay. Had to cut it down a little bit. There we go. All right, let's check out this poll, because I'm gonna drop this poll in here, and I want to hear what you guys think. All right, there we go. So, yeah, I'm kind of curious what you guys think. It says backwards. Yeah, Big Red said his ass backwards. Raspberry said TLC must want our Cody haterade to marinate overnight. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Kathy Ferran and My Take on Reality, we said no to cable for $175. That's what I mean. Like, cable's expensive. Like, it's not like back in the day you get cable for like $30, $40, or even $60. Cable now is like, get a good cable platform. And this isn't even talking about like, oh, I'm gonna get cable with all the stations and I'm gonna get like 4 or 5 different HBOs and the 4, 5, 7 MTVs. And I'll even have the one MTV station that actually plays music, because it was supposed to be music television. But yeah, it's not even that anymore. Like, you have to pay like all this money. And then if you want to get Bravo or some of these other add-on stations, HBO, Showtime, AMC, everybody's got a damn station now. And everybody wants premium money for their stuff. But this isn't even like back in the day. Back in the day, because I'm an old man. Back in the day, you had TV shows where everybody watched the TV shows, mostly because a lot of the programming was extremely limited. You don't have that now. You don't have that now. You could be in a room full of 10 people and nobody in the room, or 100 people, and nobody in the room watches the same show. It's crazy. Like, they don't even follow the same show. Yeah, a group of people who only watch like old ass movies. You got another group of people only watch old ass TV shows. You got another group of people only watch like documentaries. Got another group of people that only watch like science fiction. Another group of people only watch horror. And they have channels that are dedicated to just those things. I like martial arts. I grew up watching martial arts, doing martial arts. So I watch a lot of I signed up originally for a Hi-Ya. I was sitting there, learning Mandarin and Cantonese because I was watching so many karate movies. Like, you could watch just the one thing that you want to watch now. So for them to think that you can kind of bully people into watching certain programs, is too much content out there. You could literally sit on YouTube all day and watch. Yeah, movies on YouTube you could watch. Hook it up to your TV, like mirror cast it to your TV. You can watch movies on TLC or on YouTube. So I don't know. This is so crazy. Okay, Lori dropped it. Oh wait, wait, I got a super chat. Let's see. Cam Gilbertson, $5 super chat. My question is, this is clearly going to be their most popular season. Why shift it to random stream service scam? That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much, Cam Gilbertson. Salute. I'm gonna give you a little something. Because you're the first one in the box. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, why would you do that? What they're doing doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. And like I said, just business sense. Like, I don't understand. Like, I get you. I'm going to put it behind a paywall because a lot of people want to see this. And like you said, this is clearly going to be their most popular season. But why would you hide it from people being able to see it? I'm going to air it in my closet. What? Everyone wants to see my show, so I'm going to keep it hidden away. Like, you lunatic. That's exactly the wrong way to go about it. Okay, so far 69% of you guys are saying that yes, this is what they're doing. They're trying to they're trying to make sure that the TLC intentionally botched airing the sister wives to prevent renegotiations of contracts. 31% of you saying no, they are not doing it that way. They just incompetent folks who are just trying to screw people over. And see, I'm with Tracy. Like, I was in that camp for a long time with Tracy McMurray. I'm not going back to cable ever. And to be honest with you, had it not been for you guys, I probably wouldn't have been able to see it tonight either. I'm gonna be honest with you. Because I'm just, could do a whole story time on that, but yeah, just not a big fan of cable. Let's see, K-Bug. Yep, didn't know it was exclusive to cable now. I would probably have paid it if they told me beforehand, but now I won't pay for it because I'm pissed. And that's what That's the whole point. Thank you, K-Buck. That's exactly what I was saying. That illustrates my point exactly. Why would you do that so people can be mad? Well, why are you trying to piss your customers off? Like, you're not, you know what I mean? Like, this is that episode of Seinfeld with the soup dude. Like, why would you do that? I just want to make my customers angry because apparently it makes the soup taste better. Like, you know what I mean? It makes the show better if half the people who want to see the show can't watch it. It just makes it so much more special. It's exclusive. Oh. Okay, Karen says she watched it on Philo. All right. Yeah, but tonight's show was interesting. And again, I'm gonna in a little bit, we'll let this run for a little bit. So with 221 people responding, 69% are saying yes, TLC is doing it on purpose because they're trying to screw them from renegotiating contracts. So I'm not the only one. Looks like I'm not the only evil one. Tanya King, in my mind, I see what you did there. That's risky on TLC's part because people could get tired of the games and tune out. But you might be on to something, James. Thank you so much, Tanya. Like I said, I see what you did there. In my mind, yeah, and for me, that's exactly where I was headed with that. Like, this could backfire tremendously because you could screw them out of renegotiating the contract, and you keep from giving them a couple extra shekels. But at the end of the day, if you piss the customer base off, or people feel like, okay, I want to watch this thing, I've been looking forward to watching this whole time. All summer I've been looking forward to watching this. Now all of a sudden you just boom, I find out I can't watch it. You could get screwed. You could get screwed. Like, TLC could turn people off because at that point it's like, okay, clearly you guys don't want me to watch it. So what am I busting my ass trying to watch something you guys don't want me to see? Oh wow, okay, wow. At 245 votes so far, the answer to did TLC intentionally botch airing Sister Wives to prevent renegotiation of contracts? 70% of the people are saying yes now. So it bumped up 1%. Okay, okay. Worthless like the dog he is, Gabby Ferran. Okay, so what were some of the observations that I had on this show so far? Here's what it kind of struck me as, and this is again the first episode of the new season. After watching it, I kind of get the feeling, and you guys, I'm curious what you guys, people who saw the show, because apparently not everybody can see the damn show. But for those who saw the show, I'll say this, and I want your feedback. And people who haven't seen it yet because you got screwed over, I apologize for that for TLC because they screwed you guys over. But what do you guys think as far as this? Like, when I watched the show, I can clearly say that in season 16, it was about Christine finding herself, finding her voice, and deciding to leave. Once she left, season 17, and that really happened towards the end of season 16, where she actually kind of stood on her hind legs and said, you know what, the hell with this, I'm out. But season 17 was clearly about Christine leaving the family. Season 18 was clearly about Janelle leaving the family. And I think season 19 is going to be about Mary leaving the family. And the way they're doing it, and the way, I'm going to give you guys a little bit, but the way they're doing it, they're presenting it in a way that Mary is struggling with her departure from the family. Now, the first thing I'll say about this is that for those who aren't in the know, for those who haven't been able to catch up yet, season 19 is actually, or at least where it's starting right now, is in 2022. So this is 2 years ago, right? And clearly some things have happened in these last 2 years that we're aware of. They did a nice little I won't say it's nice. They did kind of really the bare minimum by mentioning Big G's passing and talking about, he'll be missed by all and that kind of thing. It was kind words, but he deserves a little more in my opinion, but we'll see what happens with the rest of the season as they get closer to it. Yeah, there you go. Driftless in Wisconsin. Cable has commercials, Discovery Plus does not. Yeah, money. I agree with that. Yeah, but see, the whole thing is, my whole thing is this, and I'm gonna just so you guys know, I'm gonna open this up in a little bit because I'm only gonna run the show for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, just because folks got to get up in the morning, and people have things to do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out like the issues and things that I see in the show. And Sunday night, I'll give my initial impression of the show. Then, of course, I have my Monday show with Sarah, which I'll get a little more in depth with my review of the show. And then for the rest of the week, I'll drop my smaller videos. And I think maybe Wednesday or so, maybe Wednesday or Friday, I'll have like another live that I'll do at mid-afternoon, Eastern Standard Time, where I'll drop the video and then I'll do it as a premiere and I'll roll into a live right after that so we can talk about some of the issues that I'm highlighting. Just as a foreshadowing of one of the videos that I think I'm going to do this week, because again, I have to do some pulling from some of the clips and really dig into like some of the verbiage and attitudes and things that I notice on the show as I prepare for that smaller video. But my initial response to something I saw that I want to talk about is Mary and her position in not getting over or moving past her relationship or her break with Cody. Now, there's something that I want to kind of mention, and then after I talk about this thing, I'm going to put the link in the chat so you guys can start calling in. But one of the things that I noticed about this with Mary is that she is so heartbroken over the realization that her marriage to Cody is over. She's trying to put on a strong face that she doesn't care, that she's already over it, that it's not a big deal, that, oh, I just wish that Cody would have been a little more informative, a little more communicative about the breakup or about the relationship being over. And I get that. But this is something that really hit me the other day. And I'm not even going to say this is like something that I've ingrained in myself since I was a child. This is something that really hit me the other day. It something I've always known, but it became very crystal. When you're in these types of relationships and your relationship is over, right? There's a part of you that always has that, oh, wait until they see me, or at some point later, they're going to miss me. Or, we've been together for 30 years, and then later on, there's going to come a time when they look back and things fall apart, and they're going to realize how bad they treat me, and they're going to feel bad about how they did me. When I look at Cody and Mary's situation, the truth of the matter is that I think Cody should feel bad about how he treated his ex-wives. And I think he should feel bad about how he did the kids. I think there's a lot of room where he should have a lot of self-reflection. But the truth of the matter is that I don't think Cody does. And so with that being said, I don't think there will ever come a time when he looks back at his time with Mary and feels bad about his marriage to Mary breaking down, because he's already casted in his mind that she wasn't the one he was supposed to be married to. She didn't make him happy, and she was a horrible person, or she was a horrible mate. I won't say she was a horrible person, but to him, I think he considers her to be a horrible wife, a horrible selection. He regrets ever dating her, being with her, so on and so forth. So with that in mind, I don't think that there's ever going to come a time where he's going to feel bad about leaving. And I know that if I was sitting here talking to Mary, I know that would be something that would be very hard for her to hear, because nobody wants to see, and that's going to be another video too, but nobody wants to see the person that they are in love with move on without them. And then the thought that that person who left you may believe that their life is better without you. Nobody wants to believe that. Okay, everybody wants to think that, wait till something happens, and 5 years down the line after their life is falling apart, they're gonna look back and wish, and they're gonna cry every day about how they left me and hurt me, and not realizing how much I love them and how I would never do this to them and I would never abandon them. But in the real world, they're not going to do that. And this is why it's so important that Mary find peace for herself, in dealing with this situation. I'm not saying get over it, it's not a big deal or whatever the case may be, but you have to be able to look at your situation, recognize where you are, and accept the reality of where you are. So you can learn to be okay with where you are. So you can stop trying to hold on to old memories, old feelings of love, compassion, companionship, and you can start looking for new sources of happiness, new sources and new outlets for your energies and the things that you're trying to do for yourself. Because all that's happening now is she's just getting screwed over, and it's been sad to watch for a long time. Let me see. All right. Let me just see. I'm gonna put I had the thing up for about 18 minutes, almost 20 minutes. 341 people answered the question: did TLC intentionally botch airing Sister Wives to prevent renegotiation of contracts? 74% of you said yeah, they did. So a clear majority. But 26% of you said no, they did not. So I want to go ahead and end the poll there, and I'll leave it open for a couple minutes as I craft the email to drop in the link, so we can, or drop the link in the chat, so that way we can rock and roll. All right. And just so you guys know that with the link, if you hit the link, you will not be brought straight into onto screen. So you'll be in my backstage. Once you're in my backstage, I'll see you, send you a little private message, or it'll be a private chat. Everybody in the backstage will be able to see it. But I'll send you a private chat, let you know that I'm about to bring you up, and then you can decide whether you want to be on screen or not. You can just hit the little camera, stop your camera, just keep your mic up, and then we can go from there. But I want to hear what you guys think about this episode. If you have any points that you want to make about this episode, or if you want to talk about like TLC and how they botched this airing, if you want to talk about the prospect that Mary might be using this season, the reality of it is, and this is what I firmly believe, this season is going to be Mary's season. Okay, in a weird way, if you look at it, there is an order to the breakups, because as it turns out, it went up and back. It's almost like a foot race where you race to a thing and then you race back. So Mary came into the family first, then Janelle, then Christine. They went and went and went until they hit Robin. Then on the way back, Christine was the first one to leave. She was the last one in first one out. Then Janelle was the second one in, second one out. And then now Mary, first one in, the last one to leave. So I guess technically Robin would be the last one to leave if she leaves. But, they left in order of their appearance. So that's a little weird. But yeah, so that's kind of where we are. So I am curious what you guys think. I'm dropping the link in the chat now. And I'll pin it to the top. So that way. Okay. All right. So I'll put that up top. All right. So there's the link. If you guys want to join the show, we'll be running for another hour or so. Then that will be that. So you have an opportunity to come in. All right. So, just 1 second. Let me just check to see where we are on my broadcast with the TLC. This on my broadcast of it that was on TLC Go. It said that it was shot on December 20th, 22. And then it said in March 2024, we lost our son Garrison. We love him dearly, and he will be missed. Yeah, that's what it said on mine too. That's what it said on mine. So, all right. So we have some folks coming in. All right, and let's see. And then we'll once we start rolling, we'll bring them up in quick succession, hopefully, and then to hear your point of view. Once you get your point of view, we're going to try to keep it moving so that way we can get as many people as possible into the thing. All right, so here we go. First guest of the night, we have Kitty coming in. Hey, Kitty.
Hey. So that was a fun show.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
So,
I have thoughts.
huh?
I have thoughts.
Okay.
When the show first started, I saw the TLC starting to do filming in 2020, and then the Garrison tragedy, and then it started out with Christine saying how much she loved being in the single life.
Mm-hmm.
And my first thought was, I thought Mary was actually started off really good of being very sassy, but very confused of it all.
Okay.
And I literally thought Janelle was actually pretty good. Surviving, doing stuff on her own. And then Cody and Robin being fake. Right from when they got to them all the way to the end. I literally thought they were fake.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
I hate non-genuine people. And it drives me nuts to see that.
yeah, I get that, because I think that with Mary, what was it? No, I'm not sorry, Mary. With Robin and Cody, I think that they're still on the image rehabilitation tour. Like, I think that they're just trying to rehabilitate their image as best they can. And they're sitting there still talking about lamenting over the breakdown of the family and how sad they are that the family broke down. I also think it was kind of interesting that, for those who don't know, we have yet to go inside the house still for Robin and Cody. So when we film them, or we catch up to them and they're having these deep conversations, they're out on Cody Pass talking about, look out there at Cody Pass and how our family is broken apart. And now we're so sad, but at no point are they trying to bring people into the house.
Yeah. And I think the other thing was, though, too, is that they were, like, being very, like, I find they were being very rude at McKelty's baby shower for the twins.
Oh, for
Or the sprinkle or
Cody and
whatever.
Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that I think it's such a weird situation because they're trying to be present and they're trying to be there, and Cody is so used to, like, and I think that this is one of the messed up things about the particular thing. For those who don't know, Cody, this is the first time we see Cody, Robin, and Christine in the same place at the same time, and it's at McKelty's baby shower. And Cody comes in and he's walking around like looking over at people and seeing the folks moving around and trying to be close to folks. But at the same time, nobody really is trying to be a part of Cody. Like,
yeah.
He's
Yeah,
almost
it's almost like there's like a huge bubble just around them,
right.
and keeping like Christine in the shadows, which
Right.
I thought that was very, very telling on their part, saying like they do not agree what Cody and Robin has done in the past, and they will stand with Christine and whatever wives are with Christine at that moment, even if Mary was there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but for Cody, I think it's more of a culture shock because he's so used to being the center of attention. So for him, he expects to walk in and have a bunch of people adorn him with attention and what's going on. But like, he's reaching for the baby. The baby don't even want no parts of him because I don't think that the kids are used to seeing him.
No, they weren't.
It's just kind of what it is.
And I found it so telling at that point. Like, none of the children ever wanted to be near him. None of the even the grandchildren wanted to be near him. When he showed up, Truly just ran away instantly. As soon as she saw Cody, she's like, "Oh shit," ran off.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. But I have to move on. But thanks for calling. You can always call back, so don't worry about that.
No worry.
I have to just jump into the next person. Keep it flowing because we're full up. All right. But thank you for calling in. First up, Kitty in the house. All right. MJ, you have to reconnect your mic and I can bring you up. But yeah, so we had a lot of stuff. There was some good stuff. Like, there's some good meaty stuff in this first episode. MJ just dropped out. So there's some good meaty stuff in the show. But it's kind of one of those situations where you can see where it was going to fall apart anyway. You can see where it's going to fall apart anyway. You good? I'll bring you up. You ready? All right, here we go. Michelle, you in the house?
Oh my gosh. Hi. I'm from the UK.
Hey, UK, what's going on over across the pond?
Yeah, it's going okay over here. Relatively not as bonkers as it is over there where the Browns are, apparently. But long time fan of the show, yours, I should say. And me and my husband listen like regularly, but getting down to the brass tacks of it all, I really do think that Cody sees himself as some sort of royal figure. Even down to the way that he recently described his sadness over Garrison. I wish he was here still to make me laugh, as if Garrison's some sort of court jester, rather than it being his son. I personally lost a child of mine, and the thought, she was a wonderful girl, but I would not sort of even put it in the same category as losing a best friend, which would be sad. Of course it would, but it's a different kind of thing. It really, really is. And I just wanted to say that I think you're definitely right about the whole, that it's a tactic at the end of the day, isn't it? It's a tactic. I think also maybe they're trying to hedge their bets in case this is the last season.
Right.
If there's not enough interest, they want to make as much money of this as they can before it's over. So they're going to go any which way they can to get that dollars in, you know. Sadly, it has to come at the expense of some people. And Mary, it is sad, and I do agree. I feel that the delusion is because there's an old technique with people that tend to use manipulation tactics. It's like the scratch record thing. If you hear something enough times, you hang on to that hope, or you hang on to that one thing that's constantly said to you again and again. We don't know what Cody was saying to her behind the scenes. He could have been supposedly saying to her, you know, well, I tell you what, I'm telling them this because it's for the ratings, but secretly underneath it all, I think you are the best thing since a good English cup of tea. We don't know.
Right.
And maybe she is, you know, waiting for, you know, the scales to fall off his eyes, and he's going to, like you said, going to realise exactly what he's lost. But he is so full of himself. It's like, all hail the king of self-inflicted drama, you know? It is all about him.
Right.
You know. So I am sorry, I'm no good with cameras and stuff, but all I wanted to say is, you know, it's sad regardless of which way you look at this, but the hope is in the seeds that have been planted, because believe me, when people have been kicked down, when they're ready to fight their way up, these tosspots better look out.
Right.
Because they're going to come. They're going to come back, mate. They really are, you know.
Yeah,
but you have a wonderful rest of your day. And yeah. Anyway, I'll get my mug off your screen and hopefully chat again at some point. Okay. Thank you.
Right, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Have a good one.
Okay. I don't know how to end this, so I will.
I got you.
Right.
I got you.
Cheers. Thanks.
No problem.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Michelle, she actually thank you so much, Michelle Page, for coming in, because you actually made an excellent point, and I'll get with you in a moment, Cam Gilbertson. But she made an excellent, brilliant point. One of the things that she said was like, well, she said a couple of things. She said a few things. But I'll just run through. One thing she said was his Cody's approach to Garrison, Big G's, right? When Big G's passed, the way he talked about him, because I was going to do a video. I was very torn about doing a video about it, because I don't really like putting it out there, because I don't want to create a big huff or a situation about it, but I will give my thoughts on it since somebody else brought it up. When he talked about Big G's, because there was an article that came out on People magazine where Cody talked about Big G's passing. Now, when Cody came out with his article versus when Janelle came out with her article, Janelle comes out with her article. She talks about like mental health. She talks about making sure people are okay. She talks about how she's insistent on having full conversations with her children and the people that she cares about. She lets them know that she cares about them. She lets them know that she's there for them. She asks, are they okay? She literally asks them, are you okay? What is your mental state? She hears they're going through things. Where are you at right now mentally? Are you okay? And she wants to get that clarification, and she wants to be very specific. So she's actually taking steps to try to improve communication between her and her loved one. She also went on to say something that I had said previously in one of my videos talking about Big G's passing, that she did everything that she feels like she could have done. And I'm sure that deep down she feels like she could have did more, but the logical part of her brain understands that when somebody makes this ultimate decision, there's not a whole lot you can do to keep them from doing that thing. That's what makes this so pervasive. Cody, on the other hand, when he talks about it, he had a completely different perspective. And I don't, and part of the reason why I was so torn about talking about this particular issue, and I apologize, Cam Gilbertson, I will get to you in a moment. Part of what makes me so hesitant about talking about this is because I don't want to criticize a parent and how they grieve the loss of their child. Like, I don't want to sit there and say that you should be doing this or you should be acting that way. But it did bother me when I heard, like Michelle had mentioned, that he said that, oh, one of the things that I'll miss about him being gone is that he used to try to make me, how he used to try to make me laugh. And I miss giving him the opportunity, one more opportunity to make me laugh. What the entire fuck are you talking about? Like, that blew my mind. Like, I don't want to be that dude. Like, I'm really trying to not be that person, but that did set me back. Another thing that Michelle talked about, because I don't want to get too much into that because I'll start getting crazy. But one of the other things that Michelle talked about was like the idea of being the center of somebody's world. And for Cody, he is considered himself to be the center of the Sister Wives world. And for so long, he was the center of their world. And the crazy part is he's so hurt and so dismayed now because they're actually having an opinion and talking about him. Because for so long, especially on this show, they've done nothing but make excuses for him, why he can't come around and how he's doing so much for the kids. And how is he, taking care of 20 kids, and how is he finding all the time because he's an amazing man. They went out of their way to try to make excuses for him. And now currently they're not doing that anymore. So he's struggling. But I'm going to go ahead and bring KM up. KM, are you ready? I hope you're ready. All right. You want to take your camera down? That's fine. But ladies and gentlemen, KM Gilbertson in the house. What's up? How you doing?
Well, after figuring out what channel or what scam stream network I had to put a free trial on to even watch this stupid show.
Right.
I've said it before, I'll say it again, and going off of what Michelle said, Cody does view himself like a king of his family as his kingdom. He loves talking in the royal way. I think I said it somewhere during the watching of last season. He talks about his family like a king talks about his kingdom, like it's an extension of himself. And I'll give you a hint. Happy peasants don't revolt.
Excellent point.
I am loving Christine and Janelle every time they're on screen. They are rooted to their kids. They are rooted to moving on with their own lives. They're not. It's insane to me how he thinks that they're doing all of these great things for themselves to punish him, when in truth, some things have nothing to do with you.
Right. Yeah, that's an excellent point, because it was one of the things he said. I have FOMO, so I feel like FOMO. For those who don't know, FOMO is the fear of missing out. FOMO, fear of missing out. Using acronyms, it's ridiculous. But I'm afraid I have FOMO. They know I have FOMO real bad, so they're just doing these awesome things and leaving me out to hurt my feelings. Like, no, it's called they're out living their lives past you and without you, because you've made the conscious decision not to be a part of their lives. So they said, you know what? I'm not going to crawl into a hole and die or disappear because you don't want to be around anymore. What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue doing what I do, and I'm just going to do it without you. And he can't handle that. Like, that did make me giggle when he said that. You're so right. You're so right.
And I don't know about anyone else, but when he was over there making himself the center of attention, going, all the little children come play. Like,
Right.
it's so uncomfortable when he does that, because we know, proof positive, that the only children that are of value to him are the small, impressionable ones. Go to your own offspring for that and leave the grandkids alone.
Right. Or I've always said, if you ever want to hear the truth, animals, usually pets and children, will let you know what's what, because they don't understand fake. So babies don't understand that I'm supposed to pretend to like Peepaw because it'll make him look good and I don't want to hurt his feelings. If they don't recognize you, they're not coming to you. Like, full stop. You know what I mean? You could go over there, goo goo gaga boo 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 boo, and they're not like, okay, all right, okay, I see you, get away. And that's exactly. I think it was one of McKelty's kids, which makes it worse because that's the one he's supposed to get along with.
Well, apparently she's gonna develop a backbone and cut them out too, but that's their own family business. But no, and then one last point is jumping off of that, thinking that the mothers are still poisoning the adult children as if they aren't grown adults with families and children of their own.
Right. And when you just said that, it just struck me that honestly, that is probably one of the most disrespectful things that he could say about his kids. Because in essence, what you're saying is that they don't have minds, feelings, imaginations, or spines of their own, and that they're looking to their parents, who are kind of just putting their hand in their back and directing them to do the things that they want them to do. The moms are telling them what to do, when, like you said, these are full-grown adults, and in some cases, these are parents of their own children. Like, these are adults. Like, these kids aren't. It's not like they're like 4-year-old or 5-year-old kids, and mom is telling like your dad ain't nothing. Like, these kids are damn near 30, and they've had 30 years with you. And if you haven't been able to put enough into them to where they miss your presence, then you have to ask that question of yourself. What did I not do? So I think that's an excellent point too. Great point. Oh, I had I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, just that's. I'm gonna have to figure out. I think this might be the one I watch live, and then the other gets shown on Hulu at like 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. Because I am not doing this.
Right. So, what did you think about the? Because you had a couple comments. Let me get your next comment up about the. Because you had another super chat. Thank you so much. You're all with me with the super chats. I wanted to give you a big thank you. So it's oh no, it's not soup. It's the Seinfeld car rental bit. You can make a season, but you can't find a way for people to watch the season. So true. What do you think? What are your thoughts on how TLC dropped this show? Like, this is the episode. Like, they had like the drama music, ta-dun, ta-dun, and they're standing on the side of the mountain, and he's like, I don't even know how I'm gonna deal with your ass, Robin, and crying, and like they had like all this high drama for the previews. And then
it's once again Robin crying on a bench, which they know we love to see. I'm sure the porch dream monologue at the end of last season, which was to nobody but the camera, I got major ratings, and it's either they're gone completely insane or they're using it as a negotiating tactic, both of which I think are stupid. But no, just dumb, and oh look, dumb.
Right. Yeah, because when they did this, my whole thing is when they did this, and I know I bitched about it last season a lot. When I talked about like that whole look back, talk back fiasco, I didn't like that then. And I saw it when I saw it. And I didn't like how they rolled it out on people back then, and more to the point, how they excluded people. Like, yeah, I was able to see it, and a lot of the content creators on YouTube were able to see it. And, we put out videos about it. But at the end of the day, there's so many people who have watched this show since its inception, season 1, episode 1. And those people were excluded from participating in these episodes for whatever cockamamie scheme or reasoning that TLC had. You excluded these people and you disrespected your customers. And I feel like they're doing the same thing this season with this particular episode, or this season. I guess they're going to do this the whole season, where they, get people excited about season 19 dropping on Sunday, but unfortunately you can't watch it on Monday. That's like, telling a kid that you got them everything they wanted for Christmas, but you didn't have any batteries in the damn toy. You gotta wait till the store open tomorrow to play with anything, because I didn't get any batteries for the toy you've been begging for 6 months to play with. I didn't buy the batteries, or I didn't buy the cords, so you can't actually play with the toy that you've been begging for. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I don't know.
Yeah. It is just nuts. And I think I'm going to go do what this show makes me do and drink some.
Right. Well, I appreciate you calling in. Let me give you something before you go. Got to give you a little something for the super chat before you calling in. Got something special for you. There you go. Thank you so much for everything that you do, supporting the channel, calling in, giving your thoughts. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Have a good rest of the night.
You too. You can call back anytime. Awesomeness. All right. So we had KM Gilbertson in the house, dropping some knowledge for us. The phone lines are open, so if you guys want to call in, you're more than welcome to do so. KM, Brian Zimper's in the house. What's up? Yeah, this whole thing with them, I'm not a fan of how TLC is running this, but we shall see. What's this? If Cody and Robin don't answer certain questions, then they shouldn't get paid. They have production in their pockets, and it's annoying. Okay, what Tisha is talking about, there was one point where Madison makes a debut on the show. Maddie's back, y'all. For those who don't know, Maddie's back. She's pregnant again. So she's about to have another child. She's talking about moving to Montana. So you can look forward to seeing that tomorrow. But one of the things about Maddie is that it was mentioned during the show that Maddie and Cody have not had conversations. They have not talked. Okay? And part of the reason, actually, Maddie had said it before on a podcast. She said that she didn't want to have a relationship with Cody unless he can promise to have consistency. Like, she doesn't want to have Cody kind of flashing in and flashing out of her kids' lives. So she said, look, if you can't promise to be here consistently for my kids, then I don't want you trying to reach out to them and talk to them. Like, we could keep this relationship where it is, which is non-existent. And she's been very good about that and maintaining that. Cody, of course, being Cody, is probably mad at her for even questioning him. So they don't have a relationship. And when Cody was asked about Maddie, he said, I'm not talking about Maddie. Like, that's okay, because she's going to talk about you. Like, and that's the whole thing. Like, you're not preventing anything. You're not stopping anything. If you want to have a relationship with these people, you can have a relationship with them, but it's in your court. The ball is in your court. It's in your hands. So you have to decide to have relationships with them. You can't expect them to keep coming back to you. And I know somebody's going to say at some point that, I know somebody would say it because Robin said it. Okay, I'm going to put it where the ghosts can get it. Robin said that Cody, the kids should be coming back to Cody because Cody could reach out to them, but those kids could reach out to him too. Well, here's the thing. If these kids spend a majority of their lives trying to reach out to Cody, and Cody has not been receptive to them, and Cody has been making decisions to support one part of his family and ignore another part of his family, then we can sit here and talk about coulda, woulda, shoulda, all got good. That French was coming. We can sit here and talk about coulda, woulda, shoulda all day. Okay. But at the end of the day, what people should do, what they could do, what they would do if something else happened is one thing. What we can't rely on is for those people to do something we can do ourselves. If Cody wants to have a relationship with his kids, he needs to pick up the phone so he can have a relationship with his kids. Because his kids, like, we're hearing about how tired Cody is and how upset Cody is. And this has been a song, like, you didn't even have to watch this first episode to hear this song. This has been a song that's been on repeat and replay since season 15. They've been singing the same damn song about how Cody feels so put upon and how he's struggling so much and how everybody need to kiss his behind because he's not sure if he want to be around and they need to get his, what did he say? It's not about favor. It's about finding favor. You know what I mean? Not being a favorite. It's about finding favor. So he's been asking these kids to find his favor and worship him and kiss his behind so that he can, you know, deem them fit to spend time with them. And they're probably tired of that. And I don't blame them for that. They're probably tired of it. So yeah, in an ideal world, they would reach out to Cody and try to contact Cody and get in touch with him. But here's the thing. It's not an ideal world. This is the real world. In the real world, you have to deal with your situation as it lays. You can't deal with your situation by how somebody would do in an ideal circumstance or situation, how they would treat you ideally. In an ideal world, if Cody made a promise to Mary, to be with Mary, he would still be with Mary and he would have lived up to his promise and commitment that he had to Mary. But the truth of the matter is that Cody doesn't give a shit about Mary. We can sit here and paint it all the different colors we want to, but rubber meets the road. He doesn't care about Mary. Maybe at some point back in the past, he did care about Mary, but he doesn't anymore. Okay. And I don't think that in 5 years or 10 years, he's going to look back on his life and feel sorry that he's no longer with Mary. And that hurts. And again, I understand. I understand that if Mary was sitting here looking at me in my face, or if she ever sees this video, that could hurt her feelings a little bit. But it's the truth. He's not going to feel bad about your relationship breaking up because he didn't value you. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Just because he doesn't find value in you doesn't mean that you are not valuable. Let me say that one more again. Just because he didn't find value in you didn't mean that you weren't valuable. Okay? You did give him things. You did. You were the foundation. Mary was the foundation of this family. Without Mary, I know later on down the line, I've said it in a previous video, later on down the line, Cody is going to say something to the effect of he wished he never married her. Well, the truth of the matter is, had he not married Mary, he wouldn't have had Janelle. And had he not had Mary and Janelle, he wouldn't have had Christine. And if he wouldn't have had Christine, he wouldn't have had the opportunity to be on a TV show, and he damn sure wouldn't have Robin. So your entire life would disappear with one decision of saying that you don't want to be with this one person. Your entire existence would no longer exist. You jackass. So let's not pretend that you are up here and Mary is this lowly peasant soul that you decided that you were going to be generous and spend your time with and get on some kind of charity tip. And now you're having kind of buyer's remorse because you charitably gave to this vagabond, this terrible, lowly person. And because you wasted your time with this lowly, undeserving person, that somehow I should give you a cookie. You can kiss my ass with that cookie. Okay? You don't deserve a cookie. I'm sorry. I'm going off a little bit. I'm going off a little bit. If you guys want to come on in, you can hit that link. You won't come right up. You'll be in my backstage. I see your face. If you don't want to have your picture on, I'll hit you a note saying that I'm about to bring you up. Just turn your camera off. Bingo, bango will bring you up and you can give your perspective and your point of view. But I'm just trying to, I don't want to be crazy fired up, but this, you know what? I had something I wanted to show you guys. When I was watching this and Cody said that stuff about being how he wanted to be treated, you know, how these people should be treating them different and they should be, you know, falling in line, because that's what this is. Like, what we're watching is we're watching Cody complaining about how these wives and these kids ain't falling in line, how they're not making his life better, how they're not getting out of the way. And it's sad to watch. And to be honest with you, I can see that spark of fire in Mary. I can see it. I don't know about anybody else. I can see that fire about the, like she's there. It's a little spark. It's not an inferno, right? It's a little spark. And now I just want to take that fire. And I'll take that fire and I want to look at it. Hold on, I'm gonna move my mic up for it so you guys can see it. Take that fire a little bit. And you just what? You know what I mean? You want to let that fire come up so that way old girl can be herself. I want you to be yourself, Mary. I want you to feel strong and confident in being you, because you have that right. You're a participant in that family. You helped to design that family. I'm not hating on Mary. I wish the best for Mary. I hope Mary can find the things that she wants out of life to make her happy. You know? Like, I don't ever want Mary to be in that, feel like she's in a situation where she has to be considered less than. Raspberry, $10 super chat. Sunday night sanity check. I know that we gotta run it. We gotta do it. We gotta keep each other sane. Because if you watch this craziness long enough, you will be cussing a lot. You get also watching this stuff. You take it too serious. I'm telling you, because it's insanity. It's insanity. But let me give you a little something. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's crazy time. But yeah, Mary, listen to Mary talk, man. I could tell part of me is saying that I can see where she wants, if Cody came back and yeah, maybe we should do a poll on this. Yeah, you know what? Bump it. We're going to do a poll. We're going to do a second poll. All right. We're going to do a second poll. The last poll, 75% of y'all said that TLC might be botching the premiere of this show, trying to screw the sister wives out of that money, but being able to negotiate a higher salary. But let's run a poll. We're going to run another poll. You think I'm curious what you guys think. I'm asking, do you think Mary would take back Cody if he asked? Let's run that poll, because I'm curious what you guys think. All right, I'll be right with you, Vita, in 1 second. Give me a second. All right. 1 second. Okay, we got Brittany, not Brittany, in the house. Robin being $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Brittany. Robin being surprised at how loans work. What do you mean it's a stupid concept? That's literally how she got in debt. For those who don't know, there's a point where they're talking about Coyote Pass. Thank you so much, Brittany. There's a point where they're talking, her and Cody are sat out on Coyote Pass talking about the loan that they have. And we have a loan, and if we don't pay the whole thing off in a couple months, then we're going to lose everything. We're going to lose the land. And she's standing like, oh, this is a dumb way to go about loans. That's how loans work. Like Brittany said, that's how loans work. If you get a mortgage and you don't pay your mortgage, they're going to come take your house. If you buy a car and you don't make your car payment, your car will be on the back of a tow truck running down the street in the middle of the night. That's how that shit works. Sorry, welcome to America. Okay, not everybody has a dude who's willing to come in and bail you out when you run up their credit cards or you run up $60,000 worth of Victoria's Secret debt. Most of us, if we run up that kind of debt, people are coming to get our shit. That's how it works. So yeah, if you borrow money, they are going to come and get your stuff. So yeah, you guys have that to look forward to tomorrow. That's insane. Like the way she said it too was like she was surprised. I can't believe they would do that. Why would you do that? Like they're serious about getting their money back or something. Yeah, not everybody can go in with $0 down and wind up with a McMansion that's worth $1.6 million according to you guys, and 2 acres of land in addition to the McMansion, and still expect to walk away with, out of 14 acres, expect to walk away with 8 of those acres. 4 for Cody, 4 for Robin. 4 plus 4 is 8. They plan on walking away with a clear majority of Coyote Pass between the two of them. And they put down the least amount of money. How do you know they put down the least amount of money, James? Let's think about it. Mary, Janelle, they're the ones who put down a lot of the deposit for Robin's house. Mary, Janelle, Christine, they were the ones who put down a lot of deposit for Coyote Pass. Cody just slapped his name on stuff because he was the husband. Robin ain't have any money. Or she took her little bit of money and put it on Coyote Pass so she could secure her land on Coyote Pass, and then she had the sister wives buy her house. Anywho, crazy. Thank you, Brittany. Let me give you a little something, Brittany. I ain't forget you. All right, thank you so much. We have a new guest, y'all. So we have a first-time caller, Vita, hitting the stage. What's up, Vita? Got to take yourself on mute. Got yourself on mute, so we can't hear you. Hello, Vita. We'll give Vita a few minutes, because we can't hear you, Vita. Audrey Brazier, I know, right? And they're buying a new house. Go figure. All right, Vita, you was in the house for a second. Okay, jump to Mama Celeste. What she had to say? Hey, James, couldn't be a land contract. Those usually have strict stipulations on land revisions upon non-payment. Yeah, strict stipulations on land reversions. Oh, it's only a land thing. Just one second. Hey, Vita, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
All right, you in the house?
Well, this episode was everything that I hoped it would be.
Okay.
And yes, I can't wait for the next. My thing. Did you notice this third wall is gone? They're just really talking about the show, like referencing the show.
Yeah.
I noticed that a couple of times, so I thought that was a little that was different from past seasons.
Yeah, you're right. Because usually, and that was one of the things that I had said before. That's a very good pickup, because that was one of the things I said before that I think Cody was using to try to X certain parts of like conversations that he might not want to air. He'll cite like the camera, or he'll cite the show. And then usually for reality shows, they like to try to pretend that the camera people aren't there and they're just kind of spying on the family or the conversations. But yeah, so the fact that they are mentioning the fact that they're on a show and they're fully aware, maybe they took inspiration from like the whole Deadpool experience where they're breaking the fourth wall now, and they're trying to be new and innovative with their filming.
Well, I mean, I'm interested to see how everything kind of ties together with Garrison, but so far it's looking a little bit you know, kind of surface level, but I mean, we'll see. And then also Christine, God love her, but she's like, I'm divorced. I love it. I'm single. I love that too. I wish they would
Right.
both be single. Like, I don't know. I can't hear that the whole time. I know her husband's gonna get in the mix as well eventually, so I guess we'll be listening out for that.
Right. Right. Well, let me ask your thoughts on this particular question then, because I'm a little curious. Christine, I think that she's very excited about being single, but I I think that there's a point where, you know, like polygamy, she had an idealized version of polygamy, or at
Mm-hmm.
least the way she was presenting it. And I think that in some respects, there's an idealized version of divorce
Mm-hmm.
with regards to how she's going about it. Like I'll even extend it. Just I won't limit it to just divorce, but I even think like as far as breakups. Like I don't think that you're with somebody for, you know, certainly as long as she was with Cody, but you're not with somebody for an extended period of time, and you're sitting there like walking out of the door, clicking your heels that you're leaving. Like I think that it's a little more genuine, closer to where Mary is, maybe somewhere in the middle between where Christine is versus where Mary is. That
Right.
most people find themselves on that continuum.
Yeah.
Do you believe that, or do you think it's
Yeah, she's all the way on the other side, and I don't know if maybe that's just like a personality trait, because even both of them, Cody and Christine, have said that when she came into the family, she was somebody that was able to make things, you know, kind of sour situations sweet in a way, you know.
mm,
So
right?
maybe that's just like a personality trait, but it kind of comes off like, I don't know if disingenuous is the word, but it comes off a little bit just like it's just kind of fake. It's not, I don't think somebody that's been in a relationship, a marriage for 30 years and has that much invested could, you know, just walk away, wash their hands of the situation and be just like, you know, just prance out of the situation the way that she is. I think that's a little bit weird. But I
Mm,
mean, and everyone goes through breakups and whatnot differently. So I mean, I guess I just got to give her the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, I think it she needs to be careful with that because it might come off you know, not genuine. And her kind of stick that people really liked about her was like how genuine and relatable she's been from the very beginning, you know?
mm.
So I think it would be bad business for her to kind of switch up now.
Right, right. I think that's a good point. I think that's a good point. The one thing I will say, and I'm curious what your thoughts on it are, but the one thing I will say is that I can see a universe where you just don't share it publicly. You sit in your misery by yourself. And the only reason I'm presenting this is because I want to try to give like the full spectrum. But
Mm-hmm.
stand by what I said. Like if this is let me give the back, let me backpedal first and then I'll move forward. So if this is like we see everything, and then she goes from like super committed to Cody, then he says something, and then she's able to just like cut it off and turn around and walk out and be happy, then that would bother me. Like
Yeah.
that would bother me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if she was shielding a lot of her feelings, she was shielding a lot of her pain, and these are feelings that she had the entire time, and she was receiving slight after slight, scar after scar, and then eventually, because I've always held that, in my experience, that when, as a guy who who has friends and has dealt with women, that women have a point where you can put a lot on them, but when they've had it, they hit that point, and I don't know where
Hmm.
it is. And if you ask them, I don't think they know where it is. It's just that when they hit it, and they're done. You know what I mean?
Everybody has that though,
Yeah,
and
yeah, they cut
it's
off.
relative. It's relative. You know,
Right,
everybody
right.
has that. There's a point where somebody reaches their limit and they can't. They can't take it anymore. And everyone has a different threshold for BS. Like Christine's maybe was a little bit lower as to compare her to Mary, who had a threshold of 32 years and counting. So
Right.
I think, that's a really good point. It's a really crazy thing to just see this family just literally disintegrate in front of us. And I have a question for you.
Sure.
Um, I found myself feeling sorry for Cody. Like genuinely, I feel bad for this man. This situation, what we were seeing with this episode obviously was before the death of his son. But it's almost like watching an unsuspecting person before a train wreck. Like I know that there's going to be a crash and you don't know. And
Right.
everything you're doing, I'm like, oh, I wish you would have said something else, or oh, I wish you know, it's like
Yeah.
it hurts even more for um that loss is just even worse.
Right.
And I
Right.
know that as a person, whether we think that he's a narcissist or whatever, it has got to do something to you to just watch yourself just completely go the other way, and it's going to happen.
Well, you know what? The weird thing is, because I feel like you. I struggle to say I feel bad for Cody per se, because a lot of it is his situation that he created for himself. But I will say this: I don't think that a lot of what he's saying aged well at all.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
um, and I feel like you said, like it's the dread of knowing what's about to happen. Like if you watch like they had like the live uh or the documentary, or they'll have like a fictitious story about real life events. Like there was
Mhm.
a show or a movie about like passengers 73, the passengers from like 9/11, or they'll talk about like this guy, he works in a building and you notice the twin towers, and maybe he has an argument with his kids, like I'll see you after work, and how his day is going to end. You know what I mean? Like I can sense that feeling of dread for what we know is about to happen. But the thing that bothers me with Cody is that I've felt the same way until I read that article, where I don't see where he's trying to uh learn from his mistake. Like like he's at that point where he's lamenting his loss of Garrison or Big G's. He's sitting there saying that, oh, I should have called him, and we felt like we had all the time in the world, and we realized that we didn't, and it's so sad that we don't. But then at the same time, you don't reach out to the living children that you have because you're so busy crying about the ones you lost.
Mhm.
And that's illustrative of the thing that he's doing with his wives. Like you're so
Yeah.
busy crying about losing Christine, you lost Janelle. You're
Yep.
so busy crying about losing Janelle. Well, you never had Mary. You gave up Mary years ago. But
Terrible.
yeah, you're about to lose Robin. like
Have you
you
have you
you know
noticed that they always talk about this big, and he doesn't say picture, he says pitcher, the big pitcher of
right.
water, of tears, of Robin's tears. But they're always talking about this pitcher.
right.
And to me, what about the people in the picture?
Yeah.
What about the
Yeah.
people in the picture? What about the individual lives that you have created and now taken yourself out of? So I see both sides, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just always have the ability to see the humanity in other people, and
Mm,
you truly have to feel sorry for someone that they cannot really get the fullness of what a relationship with a child or what a relationship with a spouse or a friend should be, because obviously he lacks that capacity for whatever reason, whether it's mental health, whether he's just an asshole, whatever you want to
mm,
call it. But I mean, for those of us that have those relationships, like I know it's nice. So it's sad that his life lacks that. And
right.
he to me has the quality of someone who is lacking, and he's reaching for something. in this world that we don't know of, because it's like since day one he's always been reaching for something, and it's so sad. Even Robin too, I feel like they have finally gotten to, I mean, whether or not they felt that this is what their motives were, their actions did something else, and they finally gotten to where their actions have culminated, I guess, to this point. And now it's like they're looking back and they're like, this isn't what I wanted to do. Well, that's what you did.
Right,
You know? So
right. You built that house one brick at a time. So
one brick at a time, looking just
right,
out into the pasture, nothing, just coyote poop, and just
right.
imagining homes. And I'm like, y'all are really getting delusional out there, like in the heat.
Yeah, them
Robin
bugs
making
must be biting the hell out of them, making them sick. You know, they got them
Robin
tripping.
making faces. Oh man. So
Yeah, I agree with you though, because it is sad to see a man or a person who, because like you said, the reality of it is that I don't think Cody really understands what he lost
mm-hmm.
and what he still stands to lose. Like the weird part is, you ever
Yeah.
have a conversation with somebody who say, "Man, I got nothing to lose," and you look at their situation, be like, "Yeah, you lost a little bit, but you haven't lost
There's more.
everything."
Yeah.
Right? You haven't
There's
lost.
still
You haven't
more.
hit rock bottom. You're not even close to rock bottom.
Right.
You know. And
Yep.
I think that's where he is. Like you have so much to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the struggle that he's having is that I don't feel like, and this is just me watching the show. So I can't say this for sure about Cody because I don't know the man. Right. We're not buddies. He don't call me up and we don't hang out on Sundays watching the game. But the thing that I feel like with Cody on the show is that he's so pressed about looking back to yesterday that he can't appreciate what he has today,
Right.
and he's going to lose everything he that he used to have tomorrow.
Right.
So you have to appreciate your wins and stop lamenting and crying about your losses. Yeah, people are
Mm-hmm.
going to leave you, people are going to die, people are going to abandon you and betray you in life, but you have to be able to hold on to the people who are there for you now and not just sit around and cry about the people that you used to have in
Right.
your corner. You know what I mean? Celebrate the ones who still sticking around.
Yeah. And that puts him
You know?
stuck, you know? All
Mhm.
these other people are moving on and him and Robin are stuck. It was funny because the show they were talking about a week ago, we had a conversation. I was like, damn, it's been months for me, you know?
Right,
But
right.
they are so just in that same spot. And even like seeing interviews and whatnot, like from Cody versus Janelle, when they were talking about the death of their son, there was like such a stark contrast. And you can just see that there wasn't a full relationship there, but you would hope that he would strive to, you know, try to make a relationship with the kids that he does have. He has plenty of them,
Right, right.
plenty of grandkids. So for you to have all these problems with all these people, I'm not that good at math, but it's not adding up.
Right, right.
You know,
I might not be a mathematician, but I know that.
yeah, it's too many people that have a problem with you, and who is the common denominator? It's Cody.
Right, right. Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that you learn as a kid. Like if one person calls you a jerk, you know, there might be a problem with that one kid. But if like
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5 people say that you're a jerk, yeah, at some point you got to step back and look at yourself and say, you
Yeah.
know, I have to evaluate. Let me run a little checklist on myself because it might be me. It might
He
not
can't.
be them.
He can't even self-reflect, and then he's sitting here with sobbing, and she's like, "Oh yeah, they don't understand," and he's like, "Yeah, they don't understand. They feed off of each other." Like when I was watching that scene of them at Coyote Pass, I was like, "This is crazy. This is really craziness. Just two crazy people just going back and forth."
Yeah, yeah. It's you know what, and I think that the best adjective. I think I've even used that like at some point, maybe not even online, but you're 100% right. They are stuck. and it's a sad place to be when you're stuck like that. You just can't move forward, you can't move back, and you're almost paralyzed in the position that you find yourself in because you're so trapped in your own mind and you're so much in your own way that you can't move anywhere else. You know what I mean? And I think that that's where they are. And I don't know whether they're doing it for the storyline because it's a safe. And some of what I suspect is that, you know, Dark James, Dog James, that if this is something that is they're doing for a storyline because they don't want to talk about anything else. One of the things that struck me is that if you don't want to talk about anything real, you'll talk about things that may be serious, but they don't mean anything to you. So you're okay with talking about it and talking about how vulnerable you are in the situation because you don't want to talk about where you're really feeling vulnerable,
Right.
where you're really feeling like anxiety. So you're okay with talking about how Christine is, you know, trash and how Mary is desperate and how, you know, Janelle is like a follow behind or whatever he said about her, like the insulting things that he says about the three of them, because you don't want to face the reality or have the real conversation about how you really feel because you feel like you'll make yourself too vulnerable. So I don't know.
His
But
feelings are hurt. That's all I can say.
yeah, he's feeling the burn. Yeah, but excellent points. Excellent points. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you.
I'm so excited because I never have anyone to talk to about Sister Wives. Like, I just keep this all inside. So,
Oh no. Don't do that.
so I
Don't do
finally
that.
got to just geek out on Sister Wives just now. So thank you for that.
No worries. Don't keep it to yourself. Make sure you call in often, okay? Because we're all about self-help here. You know what I mean? Keep your mindset right. Because this show will drive you crazy. It'll drive you to drink if you keep this stuff piled up. Because it's like you said, it's just I do appreciate the fact that you said that with Cody. The one thing that I will say, just kind of in closing with that, with Cody, the one thing that I do feel bad about for Cody, like I recognize the fact that he did it to himself. And even with Robin, she did it to herself. But the thing that bothers me more than anything else, and part of the reason why I do things and I say things trying to reach out to Cody, if he ever did happen to come across my channel or hear something I say, part of the reason why I try to give my perspective to him so that he can get better from where I am. I'm not saying I'm the end all be all. I know better than he do, but just things that I think that might help him. The reason why I want to help him so desperately is because he has kids. You know what I mean? He has kids, he has grandkids, he has people that look to him and rely on him. And they might be angry with him now, and they might be upset with him now. But you can't tell me that there's not part of these kids, especially the ones that grew up with him in Lehigh, who don't wish that they had the opportunity to be able to reach out to their dad and reconnect with him.
Right.
But he has to make himself available for them. And my hope is that, you know, you can't sometimes you do things to people that they can't get past the thing that you did. But that doesn't mean that you can't build a future with that person. You can't create new memories and build a different kind of relationship, because that's where he is. He's never going to have the relationship with his kids that he had at Lehigh. That time is past. So he has to accept the fact of where he is now and start to formulate a new relationship with these kids for where he is now and build that relationship from where he is now. And it might just be too hard for him to do.
It's going to take a lot of accountability. They're going to have to go to a real therapist, not Cindy Lou Who from when they went to Galveston.
Right.
So
yeah, and you know, I even said that too. Like at some point, my hope is that Cody seeks somebody out, not somebody connected to the show, not somebody who, you know, they air their counseling sessions on an episode of Sister Wives, but I hope that he finds somebody who he can talk to by himself, and he can work on his issues, not issues with the other people and try to figure out what's wrong with Christine, but what he needs to do for himself. and then from there build upon that, and then start trying to reconnect to people. But I always encourage folks, if you need somebody to talk to, there's no shame in it. Go talk to people.
I have one more messy question.
Sure.
Okay. Do you think this season they would bring all of them together for a reunion? I feel like there's too much he said, she said. I want everybody to sit together and talk. And I want to hear it from the horse's mouth instead of this you know, Cody told me this and Christine said that. I want to see them have conversations, and I think that would actually help because, having watching someone speak about you through an interview where things are cut and spliced and whatever, I mean, it's different than having a real face-to-face conversation with somebody. So
Right. Well, because I think too, like, part of the problem that they have is that they have to, again, they have to get out of their own way. So will Cody be willing to sit in a room with them? He's too angry. Like, I think that he feels betrayed because he feels like they owe him something. And part of that is that as much as he talked about, if you don't respect me, this is season 17. If you don't respect me, I don't want the love. You can keep the love. The truth of the matter is that he didn't respect them. And because he doesn't respect them, he doesn't see a world or universe in which they get to leave him. You know what I mean? So because he doesn't respect them as autonomous human beings, could I see them in a room together? Yeah, but it's not going to go well because like Christine doesn't care. And Janelle is getting to a point where she's willing to tell Cody the truth. And Mary, she's slowly getting to that point where she's willing to tell Cody the truth. And I don't think Cody can deal with these women without the protection of them shielding and hiding their true feelings for him and kind of running it through a filter, running their feelings through filters. I don't think he can deal with his real wives. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, but yeah.
Well, here's to hoping.
Yeah, right. But Vita, I tell you what, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it. Awesome call. Fantastic points. I thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
No worries. Have a great night.
You too.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Vita. All right. Mary, if you want to come up, just let me know. You just have to cook your mic up. I see Down a Rabbit Hole is in the house. Down a Rabbit Hole at bedtime. If you want to come up, Down, you can come up anytime you want. Just go ahead and hit that link. I'll bring you right up. You are more than welcome. Thank you so much for joining, though. See you in the chat. All right. Yeah, I just anytime you want to do something, Down, let me know. Hit me up on email or send me something. We can get it together. Oh, the link is at the top of the chat. I pinned it at the top of the chat. Here, I'll drop it again. Let me see. There you go. I just dropped it in again if you see it. But yeah, so like I said, we are having a good time. Hopefully everybody's having fun. Oh, let me run through this survey real quick while Down is getting ready to come in. Hopefully Down is getting ready to come in. Do you think Mary would take Cody back if he asked? Crazy, guys. For the longest time, it was 50-50. The tide is just shifted. The tide is shifted out of 345 votes. 49% said yes. Yes. Mary would take Cody back if he asked. A whopping 51%, just by a hair's whisper, said that she would not take him back. That's insane. I'm gonna leave that up for a little bit. But we have Down a Rabbit Hole in the house. I'm gonna add you to the stage. Hey, what's happening? How
Hi.
you doing?
Hi, James. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Loud and clear. How's it going?
James, I am such a huge fan of yours. You know, last year I was really losing my interest in Sister Wives. And when I started watching some of your videos, I gained some of that back. So I'm so grateful. I saw your last video and I absolutely loved it. If someone didn't see it, they should go back. It was about how you feel like the Sister Wives, they're all kind of playing a game, but Robin is the best player.
Right. Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
I thought you made such good points in that video. I was really impressed with it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm a huge fan of yours, too. I got to tell you. The fifth
Oh.
sister wife used to bust me up all the time. Like,
Oh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you so much. Well, you know, I'll just put it out here to your chat. I've got my OnlyFans. I'll link it on my channel again. It's a Sister Wives OnlyFans. You can join it. I'm totally kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke between all of us. But I am a huge fan of yours, and I did not watch the episode tonight. I'm saving it for tomorrow, but I just wanted to say I'm so grateful that you're reviewing this because we needed a male perspective to come out and really open it up a little bit for us because we have so many females, you know, with channels about sister wives, but I've really enjoyed watching you.
oh, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm just glad. I'm just trying to keep up with you guys, to be honest with you.
No, you're
'Cause,
doing great.
'cause
You're doing great.
a lot of phenomenal content on Sister Wives. And I appreciate a lot of the different perspectives, like hearing what people think and what people see. That's kind of
Yeah.
one of the things that's always interested me because, like, I know what I think. And,
Yeah.
it's always nice to hear what the different perspectives and people pick up on things. And as you know, as a creator, so many
Yeah.
people in our chat, so many people who comment on a lot of our videos and stuff, they pick up on so much information and like
Yes.
little details and things.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's
Yeah. Okay.
incredible.
Let me ask you a question. Around what season did you start watching Sister Wives? Was it just recently or was it earlier on in the show?
Well, I'll say this. Like I popped in and out of Sister Wives, I guess
Okay.
maybe since the beginning, but I didn't really start watching it until about season 16. That's when I watched it from like cover to cover, end to end.
Okay. Got it.
And then after that, I went back and I watched the entire series. I guess I'm watching it for the second time now for this
Yeah.
summer. But then I also read the book. So just
Yep.
getting data or information. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's I always kind of knew where it was going to end up. But
Mm,
I guess season 16 and 17, 18 was pretty much a culmination of what everybody like, because I don't think I'm the only one who thought that this was going to end the way it ended. You know what I mean? Like, I think everybody
yeah.
kind of was suspecting it. It
Well,
wasn't as
I would
happy as they thought.
maybe I'm just like the kind of person who always wishes for the best and everything, but I really watched the show from the beginning, like hoping to find out more about what this kind of lifestyle was like. And I did have a lot of hopes. I guess this is silly of me, like a lot of hopes to see so much positivity come from the kids being like really close with one another, having good families. And I really, I hope to see, because this is such a different lifestyle than anything I've ever been exposed to. So I was hoping to see the positive of it. I wanted to see it end in some kind of positive way. And now I just did a video a little bit earlier tonight where I said, I don't even know if I'm going to watch Sister Wives this season, unfortunately, because I feel so shattered. I mean, I really do. My heart is broken about what happened this year. And it's very hard to watch them continue on with the show because I know it's a parasocial relationship. I get that, but I really care about the kids that we've watched grow up on the show.
Right.
So it's difficult. So I haven't watched this episode, but a big thing for me this season is I want to see them like really talking about what happened. I cannot pretend like this didn't happen.
Right.
So that's where I am with it at this point. I don't know what I'll do going forward, but I've certainly wished them all the best. I also wanted to mention, I hope eventually you'll check in on Brady Williams, My Five Wives. He used to have a reality TV show. He was friends with Cody. and
Right.
they had a polygamous family, and they just did an interview on growing up polygamy, and I thought, oh, I hope James will look at that too and give his perspective as well, because it's interesting. Brady is very different from Cody.
Yeah, you know what? I'm familiar with Brady. I didn't know
Good.
he did the pod or he did the
Yeah.
interview today,
Just
but I'll
now.
be checking it out.
Yeah, please check it out. I would love to hear your perspective on that. That would be
Yeah,
really
I'll
cool.
definitely look at it. I'll definitely look at it because he seemed a little more thoughtful. I mean, to be honest with you, I think that, and I said this, I jest when I said this, but I was dead ass serious when I said it. I think that Brady's family was a little too healthy for the reality show.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like they're a little too
Yeah.
healthy. They had their
Yes.
issues, but
Yes.
they're a little too, they talked about stuff. And I think that honestly, when I watch Brady, I think that he genuinely cares about
Yes.
each
Yes.
one of his wives and his family as a whole. Like there's some things he may do. Like I guess most people looking into your life, they would disagree with some of the things that you do. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that when I saw Brady and I saw the concern and the care he had for his family,
Yeah.
I never really questioned whether he actually cared about his wives.
Mm.
And Cody
Awesome.
was a little different. Like I was like, oh, this guy, I don't know. I'm
See,
not sure.
that's so interesting to me, because I didn't pick up on all that, and I think that the male perspective you bring to it is a little bit different. So I'm just so grateful that you're covering it. And I'll also send you, eventually I'll try to send you this link. There's this guy that I've talked about on my show before, Moroni Jessup. I hope some people in your chat know who he is. And he talks about sister wives, but he's part of the community and he's really popular on TikTok. And I would love for the two of you to meet each other. He's a great guy. I've had him like in my chat and on my show, and the two of you would be great to chat together. So I hope we could maybe that pass that along or something. I'm going to let you go because I didn't see this episode, but I'll keep watching. And I hope everyone likes and subscribs to James's channel, because he's my favorite Sister Wives creator.
Oh, thank you.
Right,
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Thank you, James. I'll see you later. Okay,
You have a
bye.
good one. Thank you so much for calling in. It was awesome talking to you. And by the way, with your friend, if you have his contact information, just send it to me to my email, or have him send me something in the email, and I'll talk to anybody. Like I'm not that person. So, but yeah, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Down the rabbit hole. Got to give her a little something for calling in. I got to tell you, it's always a little surreal, even though I'm in the I guess the YouTube verse. It's a little surreal when you talk to people that you've seen on for so long on YouTube, and you've enjoyed their videos. It's kind of cool talking to them. So thank you so much for calling in. That was Down the Rabbit Hole. Make sure you go to her channel, like her stuff. She's very interesting, very funny, and she makes some really salient points on a lot of her videos. So it's awesome. Down the Rabbit Hole. All right. Oh yeah, something that she said too. Just so you guys know, I'm not sure if they're going to talk about this whole situation with Garrison this year in this particular season. They did mention it in the beginning of the episode, but I will say that they've started to bring, or at least incorporate, some more of the children back into the show. So it was kind of cool because, like I said, they brought Aspen was there. We saw McKelty and Madison. It looks like she's going to be a big part of the show moving forward. So you will get some views from the kids, but I think that as we watch this, I've always tried to be very careful about involving people, or especially the kids who don't necessarily want to be involved. Like if they don't appear on the show, I try not to talk about them and respect their privacy, just because I think that parts of the show can be very disadvantageous for a lot of the kids and how they're being presented and some of the things that they say, or at least how they're brought into the show. One, they don't put them in other words, they don't put them in a good light when they bring them onto the show. But two, and this is a big thing, they don't pay them. Pay the kids, pay them. They're they're a big part of the show, to be honest with you. They're a huge part of the show. So many of the fan base enjoy seeing them. One of the weird things is that, and Cody, if you ever watch this, what would have went a long way is that if instead of you negotiating a higher contract for yourself, which I'm sure you're trying to do, which is probably why TLC is screwing everybody over with being able to watch the show. But instead of you just trying to negotiate a higher contract for yourself, it would have been really cool if you would have actually negotiated salaries for your kids who participate on the show. Just throwing that out there. You know, wouldn't that have been nice? It could have been a whole little family business. Laurie said, my paternal grands and grands were polygamous, so I grew up with tons of stories. Only happiness was kids having lots of siblings and cousins. Women suffered, some ended it permanently. See, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Like, that's what makes the whole situation difficult to criticize the entirety of it, because there are relationships, because these are real people in these situations, real families. So it becomes a little more. It becomes difficult for people who enjoy these types of environments. So like even with Christine, she talks about it from her perspective. She enjoyed her time as a child having multiple mothers, even though her mom didn't have a good time with polygamy at all. She wound up leaving her family because she did not enjoy the idea of polygamy. But with Christine, she felt that, you know, it was the best upbringing ever. If you talk to a lot of the Brown kids, like, they love the fact that they have all these siblings and they had multiple moms and all that, but they choose not to do it for themselves because they saw a lot of the pain and heartache that went into living that type of lifestyle. So I can see both sides of it. I'm going to leave the phone lines open for a little bit because we're about to round out. Mary, if you want to call back in, all you got to do is hit the little microphone, and that'll allow you to put your voice up. You don't have to worry about the camera. Just put your voice on, and I'll bring you right up. All right, Mary. Okay. Yeah, but I tell you what, when I was watching this, I had to pull something because I knew this was going to be an issue. When I got word that, like, it's really 2 points where this next clip that I'm going to play applies. One, when I think about how TLC approached the airing of this episode, I thought of this clip. And then two, how Cody approached, knowing, like it was mentioned earlier by Vita, knowing what's going to happen with Big G's later on, and Cody's approach to the kids and how he's dealing with the kids and talking to the kids. This is where I really originally came up with this particular clip. But this is how I felt about it.
And I want to look him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is. Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
That's that. Well, watching that, like, between me not being able to get it where I thought I could get it, and knowing it wasn't going to be available to a lot of the people who actually wanted to watch it, and in some cases they couldn't watch it till the next day. In some cases they won't be able to watch it at all. That's how I felt. Listen to Cody talk about him not really caring about being involved with his kids and how he don't get along with them, and the dismissive nature of being okay with not talking to your kids because, oh, well, you know, they don't want to talk to me. It's not like you had a big, huge blowout argument with them, or there was some underlying issue with them that you can't get past. It was just the fact that you were upset with them because you didn't get the thing that you wanted. He tried to recondition it, and you guys will see it probably tomorrow. He tried to present it that oh, well, the reason why me and the kids aren't talking right now is because I wanted to have one big house. And because I presented the one big house idea, the whole family fell apart. No, the whole family fell apart because of your COVID rules. And more to the point, it wasn't even so much the COVID rules, but as much as your COVID, the preferences that you held and used the COVID rules to enforce your preferences, which is why you don't have you don't talk to your family right now. But we have somebody coming back in. Are you ready, Kitty? Coming back up. All right, Kitty coming back up. What's going on?
All right. I was, since I was like watching on the chat and everything, I actually had a couple more thoughts. I did watch growing up in polygamy, the Brandy interview. I thought it was very, very telling, and how much he adored his wives. And I think when TLC was trying to ask him if they wanted to do another season, they all sat down and go, well, what's the pros and cons of this season or for this show? And they figured that it was more cons than pros, and they were the ones that actually canceled it, not TLC.
Oh, really? Oh, I did not know that. I did not know that. I thought TLC pulled it.
I thought TLC killed it too, but actually Brady said it was actually him and his wives actually put the final nail in the coffin of it. And saying, no, we're not doing it.
Well, I mean, I can see that side of it, because at the end of the day, if you want your marriage to end, put it on TV.
Yeah,
you know, that's what he's tired of being married.
That's what he said about Cody when he was like watching Cody, because he said he was watching it too, and he was just like, I was shocked with half of the stuff that was said, and he's like, I don't approve of that. Like, if you want to end your marriage, yeah, fine, stay on TLC, but
right. If you're tired of being married, just do that. But I can also see a universe, and maybe I'll see if he mentions it or if he gives intonation to it. But I can see a universe where part of his calculation may have also been that TLC came to him and said that, well, in order for us to continue with the show, we can't have a show about real life. And that's the weird thing about like reality shows. You have to have any TV show, movie, play, or whatever, you have to have some conflict that's built into it. So at some point you have to show people that there's something that we didn't know, you didn't know, or some kind of point where you guys were arguing with one another. And he may have said, look, if we make stuff up, people are going to believe it's true. If we bring problems that we actually have onto the show, it could blow those problems up to the point where we can't recover from even small disagreements.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that again will, it'll be great for TV, but I'll be saying bye to my wives.
Yeah. And also though too, Brady have also said during the second season of them filming, they actually closed the doors on the film crew and go, no, we don't want you in here. We want to talk amongst ourselves. And that also killed TLC a lot, because they were like, well, if we can't go in there and film, and they were not allowing us to because they want to have a private conversation between themselves, then what's the point of showing like the so-called bad of it?
Right.
And I find TLC very shady on that front, because I remember Kate and John used to do that too. They used to close the doors and go, nope, stay out there. We're talking. And until I think not the producers, I think the directors kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And Kate was like, fine, come in, see us fight. I don't care anymore. And I think that was the pinnacle point for them.
Right.
Where their marriage went wrong.
Because there's always a weird point where, people like being on, once people get a taste for being on TV, they kind of like being on TV. And then there's a weird timing of it where they have to ask themselves, do you like being on TV more, or do you like being married more? Which do you enjoy more? And for some people, they enjoy being on TV more than they enjoy being married.
Oh yeah,
and so they're willing to sacrifice those relationships.
And no, I absolutely agree with you on that. But for me personally, I don't want anybody to be in my personal business. It's my personal business. And even when even going through my own divorce and everything, I mean, I go and I literally tell everybody, I'm like, no, that's none of your business. You don't need to know. But people get nosy and you're just like, well, you know what? I'm done. And you just kind of just shut them out and go, okay, I'm not talking about my divorce with you right now. I want to deal with this right now on my own. If not, leave it. Like,
right. Well, I mean, that's also kind of one of the things about being on television shows. It has to go into the decision on whether you want to pursue a reality TV star role, because ultimately, you know, as a private person, you are married and you decided your relationship ends, and you decide who you want to bring in and who you want to talk to it, talk about it with. But if you're on a TV show and everybody knows about it, and you, more to the point, you drew a paycheck from everybody knowing about it, it's a little hard for you to go back and say, hey guys, stay out of my business. Yeah. You invited everybody into your business. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I'm thankful for me. I don't have to deal with the whole reality show kind of aspect. And thank God, because if that happened, I would literally go, okay, in this reality TV show, we're not talking about this, or this. If we are, I'm out. I would literally make guidelines and boundaries and go, no, you only get like a certain amount of clip of me, but I don't want you to talk about any of these other things right now, because those are not important of this show.
Right. Well, but that's also part of the caveat too, because when you sign one of those contracts to do these shows, they want your entire life.
Yeah.
And the sad part is that you could be in a situation where, like, graduations, marriages, funerals, things that are important to you happen, and you can't even acknowledge these things in public because you have an NDA that's hanging over your head. And at that point, it's not even so much you get the say of saying, like, whether you'll participate in things or not, but they have the threat of a lawsuit, because technically, if Cody and them came out like with Robin, or not Robin, with Janelle coming out talking about she bought a lot of Coyote Pass and paid off Coyote Pass earlier this summer, when that news came out, technically TLC could have sued them if they found out they're the reason why that information got out, because we have a proprietary right. TLC would take the position that we have a proprietary right to be able to tell that story on our show that we're paying you for.
Yeah,
and that's just crazy.
And also the fact, though, too, is that TLC was the first one that actually leaked that Janelle actually paid it. Right. So, in other words, they're breaking their own NDAs on that too, especially with about all the divorces and stuff. TLC goes and rushes and talks about it first, and it's like, well, why can't I talk about it? Like, I want my story to be out there, not Cody or Robin's story. I want my story out there. And it's like you're fighting an entity at that point, and it's so hard to get out of those NDA clauses.
Yeah, hard if not impossible, because at some point you have to. The truth of the matter is that when it comes to like the NDAs, TLC, I'm sure, has attorneys on retainer, so their attorneys are already bought and paid for. Yeah. And it doesn't cost them anything additional for them to file lawsuits or have paper, letters sent to your house.
Oh, yeah.
Then once you receive a letter from TLC and their attorneys, you have to go out and hire an attorney just to answer those letters and to answer any motion practice that TLC puts forward as far as like trying to sue you or whatever the case may be, TROs or temporary restraining orders, things of that nature. You have to hire an attorney to stop all that. And that's just money going out of your pocket. It's aggravation. So after a while, it's just not worth it. So, it's kind of the balance. If you're going to go on a reality show, make sure they pay you enough money to where you feel comfortable giving up certain freedoms and certain rights that you have over your own story.
Oh
and
yeah,
how people are going to perceive it.
And I'm kind like I said, I'm kind of glad that I'm not on a reality show, because that would literally, I would literally be like, no, we're doing this, and this, and if you can't do that, well, I'm not doing it.
Right, right. Well, Cody tries that. Cody tries.
Oh yeah.
I'm
But
not talking about Robin.
Oh yeah,
You mean
no.
the co-star on the show?
Oh well, no. The only other thing is though, is for me is like, for me to do NDAs is like, we're not talking about my kids. We're not talking about, my ex. That's not in public. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, if anything's not in public, like my kids and my ex, then we don't talk about it. I'm sorry, but that's where I could put a kibosh on it, because I'm like, no, that's my privacy. That's what I'm dealing with. And if you don't like it, too bad.
I can appreciate that. So, what are your overall thoughts of the show? Because we're about to wrap up.
I thought, like I said before, like I thought Cody and Robin were really fake. I love Mary being a little sassier than usual. I'm hoping that she breaks out and just be total sass, like she has been. I think that like this past summer, she's been very, very sassy. I love it, and I'm hoping that Cody gets it stuck to him. Honestly.
Well, I think, you know what? I think they will continue to see that during this episode or this season. Like Cody's gonna, he's gonna be down bad before the season's out. I don't even know if they're even gonna cover the situation from over the summer with Big G's, but he was going down before that.
Oh yeah.
So,
I heard they have a special at the end of the season for Garrison.
Okay.
But again, that's rumors, whispers. I'm not putting my whole faith in that, but that's, of course, that's coming from the grapevine, right? So
right. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, with the part of me on one side, I hope that they do come out with something, some kind of tribute for Garrison. I think it would be cool. I think that it provides closure to a lot of fans who have watched the show from the beginning, because there are a lot of the fan base that has a strong connection to a lot of the kids. So I think that would be important.
I'm one of those.
Yeah. I think it's important
them all from the beginning.
But at the same time, the only thing that makes me skeptical about it is, even with this rollout tonight of the premiere and how they botched that, how they botched the look back, talk back, how they botched Christine's wedding thing. Like, they've been dropping it a lot. And so that's the only thing that makes me nervous, because the only thing that would be more offensive to them not mentioning or pretending like it didn't happen is for them to present something in a poor or half-assed manner with regard to that, and then just kind of expecting you to eat it. Like, the worst thing that they can do is come out with something that's, it'll come off extremely disrespectful if it's a half-assed show or a half-assed tribute, or they do it in such a way where it's just like a money grab. Then it's like, that could destroy the show. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that would destroy the show.
Oh yeah, no, and I totally agree with you on that front. This is what I would do if I was TLC. I would make a 2.5-hour special of Garrison at the end of the season, and just celebrating him as a human being.
Right.
And I mean, that's what I hope, and I wish that will happen. Will TLC do it? Who knows? But
we shall
again,
see.
A lot of problems have happened right from the start, from like when they moved to Vegas, and it started with the kids, and of course the moms were like, no, we'll make it work. And then as they made it work, all of a sudden Cody's like, no, we're going to move to Flagstaff, and everybody else is like, what the heck are you doing? Like, you're tearing us away again.
Right.
And I think when the kids started complaining is when the problem started, because when the kids vocalize first, that's when the parent of those children will start thinking like yeah, no, they're right. Why are you tearing the kids away from their
Mm.
friends, from their loved ones? Like, why are you doing this?
Right. Well, I mean, it would be nice to think that they actually considered the kids as they did these things, but I don't think that they. I don't think kids really played.
Most polygamous men like Cody do not think of their kids. They just think of them as a unit, and that's it. They don't think of them as like human beings at all. They think of
Right.
them either a plant or a pet.
Mm.
And I find that very disgusting.
Right. Well, I mean, I can see that, but it's a sad form of existence because you never really experience the true depth and breadth of those types of relationships because of the limitations that you place on those relationships. So you just don't get to fully enjoy it. So it's a sad situation.
Oh, yeah,
but
it was a sad situation all around, right from the get go.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
And when Mary said that they were having problems right at the beginning of the show, is also really telling too, because you can see it on Mary, like in her body, saying like, "Yeah, what's going on? Like, what are you doing? Why are you
Right.
bringing another person into the family? Why are you making me feel like I'm the bad guy?" And yeah, and with him and Robin trying to rewrite history, while most of us have seen what he's done in from the last few years,
Mm-hmm.
makes us the ones that have seen it right from the beginning very angry and going like, now we understand why the order is the way they are. We understand why the AUB is the way they are, why Scientology is the way they are, like all these other cults, like why they're so closed off and why they don't want to grow or want to to form into a healthy relationship of a family.
Right. No, I agree.
But
But
that was the other thoughts that I had, and I thought, well, you know what? Since someone was talking about the Brady interview, I thought I would, hit home on that and going like, people should really see that. It was an awesome interview. I loved it, and I wish I was there live to actually, ask questions to Brady as well as the others. But I'm glad that they actually told Brady told his story after what happened on the show.
yeah. I'm gonna check it out, and I'll probably cut a video about it, so you guys can look for that in the upcoming. But I appreciate you calling back in. Thank you so much.
No problem.
You have a great
Have a good
night. All right. Kitty called back in. Awesome. Oh, before we get too far afield, let me give a big shout out to Brittany Not Brittany with the $9.99 super chat. Tinfoil hat moment. Okay, hold up, y'all. We got a tinfoil hat moment. That's right up there with Evil James. Dog James. Not Evil James, Dog James. So correction. Tinfoil hat moment. But I think that if all the kids have been allowed to stay in the McMansion during COVID, he probably still have relationships with them, even if the marriages fell apart. If they had one house and they were able to have access to one another, there's a possibility. It would have been a hard sell for them to get all the wives into one house, to be honest with you. Just because there was no way Christine was doing it. I think somebody later on had mentioned that Mary had been asked to move into the McMansion. I think part of the problem is that I agree. Well, I'll take it in order. I agree with Brittany. Thank you so much for the super chat. Matter of fact, let me do this first before I get too far afield. Oh yeah, Brittany in the house. Brittany, not Brittany. Brittany. But I agree that if the kids could have been in the house together, then he would have been able to formulate and maintain a stronger bond and relationship with those kids had he had them under one roof. I agree with that. I think that your tinfoil hat moment is right on point. The complication and challenge you have with that prospect, though, is that I think that because the relationships weren't in a strong place to begin with, and Cody had spent years dividing his family, it would have been very difficult for him to bring them back together, even under the auspice of an emergency. Because he spent a lot of time, like from the time they left Lehigh, they've been actively splitting them apart. Because once they were in Lehigh, Robin comes into the family. She lived around the corner. Then all of a sudden, the family split apart in Vegas. They get together when they move into the rental home. Then they're there for a week. And within a week, Robin has a new house that she's moving into. And that started peeling them off. And they started splitting up. Then all of a sudden, they get back together in the cul-de-sac. They're at the cul-de-sac for about 4 years, and then they're split apart again. And the whole time, each one of the wives are not only becoming used to being in their own places or their own spaces, but they're growing accustomed to being in their own places and their own spaces, which is far more problematic. Because it's one thing for them to enjoy it. It's another thing for them to grow used to it and accustomed to it and get to the point where now they don't want to move into houses with each other. It's almost you to say, hey, why don't you guys move in the same house? That's an insult for them to move back into the same house. So that would have made it complicated. So I to be honest with you, here's the crazy part. I've always held, to Brittany's point, I've always held in line with something she's saying, the thought that she had, that if they would have stayed on the cul-de-sac and COVID would have hit, that the family wouldn't have broke up. Just my perspective. I don't think that the family would have broke up. I don't think that Christine would have left. I think she would have been stuck. But guys, we are rounding this show out because I said I was only going to do 2 hours, and I'm going to try to hold to it. For the I had to keep this poll up for an hour, y'all, and the tide has turned. Do you think Mary would take Cody back if he asked? 70, my ass. Yes, 46% of you said yes, Cody. Mary would take Cody back if he asked her to go back out. However, 54%, still close, but greater majority of you said no, Mary wouldn't take him back. Okay. People give him a lot of faith to Mary. They like, Mary don't want no parts of that. She said no. No means no, sucker. So big shout out to that. But yeah, I'm gonna take that just so you guys know what I have coming up this week. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be on with Sarah from Reality Squad, and we're going to talk some more about this show. Hopefully, you guys have an opportunity to see it, and we can have a more in-depth conversation about what we saw. During the course of the week, there are a few things that I want to talk about, and you'll see them. When you watch the show, you're going to notice these topics that I'm going to bring up during the course of the week, where I'm going to release smaller videos, and I think maybe on Wednesday, I'm going to, about midday, I want to release a premiere, and then we can have a live after that, and we can talk about some of the issues that I'm going to bring up and during the course of that video. And then I'm also going to be, like I said, I'm going to be releasing videos during the course of the week that you guys can watch the smaller form videos. It won't have to be a big 2-hour live. It'll be a smaller form video where you can watch those and enjoy those. I'm going to check out, thanks to Miss Man from Down a Rabbit Hole, Katie from Down a Rabbit Hole. I'm going to check out the interview with Brady Williams, and I'll probably do a video on that too, just to get my perspective on it. So we got a lot of stuff happening this week. We're in the new season. We're getting things popping. We're going to make it happen. I'm going to put out a lot of content. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you guys enjoyed the show tonight, make sure you hit your thumbs up on the way out. If you're not yet subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out with me. And make sure you come back and check us out tomorrow night for the sister lives, because that's going to be off the hook. And then, like I said, look forward to any of the collabs that I may have coming up, because hopefully we get some collabs going, get some different perspectives. and ideas of things that are happening, and that should be awesome. So I want to thank everybody for coming out. Thank everybody for participating, all the callers. Let's give a big round of applause for everybody who called in. And so thank you guys for your excellent points of view, your perspectives. I appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our night. We had our first show tonight. We're going to do it again next Sunday, and then we're going to figure out how we're going to move forward through these treacherous times with TLC trying to screw us all over. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'm James. That's my take. This has been My Take on Reality, and I'm out.